stage in this liberal masquerade. Cabinet ministers close behind while the master spins his lies. Welcome to the Canadian circus.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Canadian circus. In this one, I'm going to be looking at the BC elections. You know, there's a lot of shenanigans going on with that one. They finalized it for 47 seats to the NDP and 44 seats to the Conservatives, but there are a few seats that are in question. They're so close, they're doing a recount, and there's some questions being raised by John Rustad and to the legitimacy of the elections. There's so many things that went wrong with that. I mean, some people were allowed to take unsealed ballots home into their personal residence. That's already a red flag right there. That's already something wrong there. But here we got an article from the Counter Signal. Wrong one. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we got an article from the Counter Signal. I was on the wrong one. But breaking enough uncounted ballots found in BC that could take down Eby's majority. So right now he's got a majority. He can run. He doesn't have to basically go and run to the Greens, or he doesn't have to run to the Conservatives in order to pass bills. Right now they can just pass bills whenever they want because they have a majority. But if they flip just one seat, that would give 46 to the NDP, and that would give 45 to the Conservatives. There go. I mean, therefore, you would have they would have to they would have to negotiate with the Greens, because I mean that would give the Conservatives possibly 47 if they get the Greens on their side. Therefore, they would have to they would run almost like a minority, and they would still have to get support for the parties, possibly. So Ottawa's energy, okay, wait. So BC Conservative leader John Rustad, who narrowly lost the provincial election, is calling for an independent review of the elections BC after multiple reports past 48 hours of uncounted ballots, which one of which could flip the riding from NDP to his own party, which, like I said, it would bring that down from a majority down into the minority territory. The latest announcement from BC Elections contradicts their initial statement, making the situation an unmitigated debacle. Elections BC is already under intense scrutiny for allowing election workers to take uncounted ballots home to their personal addresses. There is a massive security risk right there. Like, they could do whatever they want with those. There's no oversight. There's nobody there to watch to see what they're going to do with those ballots. They could throw them into the fireplace for all they know. I mean, there you go. That, and especially with ridings that are so close, that are like the difference of 27 votes. I mean, you toss a handful of Conservative votes in the fire, there you go. And nobody's there to know what they did with those votes. It's crazy. It's crazy. On Monday, Elections BC announced they found a ballot box containing 861 votes that was not counted in the Prince George Mackenzie riding. This did not affect the final result, as that Conservative member actually won by a couple thousand votes. So that wouldn't even have affected that one. So they also said that 14 votes were unreported due to human error in the crucial Surrey-Guildford riding, which the NDP's Gary Begg narrowly won by 27 votes. However, later, on Tuesday, BC Elections has issued another update saying it's actually 28 votes that were uncounted. That would flip the election if all those 28 votes were Conservative. That would flip that riding and then bring it down to 46 for NDP and 45 for the Conservatives. Drastically changing the power dynamic there. So after hearing Sunday's announcement, BC Conservative leader John Rustad called for an independent review I think there's a lot of people that would want an independent review to see what the heck went on. Why were people allowed to take votes home? Why were, like, this is insane. It's stupid. This is an unprecedented failure by the very institution responsible for ensuring the fairness and accuracy of our elections, he said. True. Here's a petition that you can sign here too, in order to get them to do an independent audit on this. I've signed it, sent it off. Rustad also said at the time he was not contesting the results of the election until he found out all these irregularities. So more than 1 week after the election, Elections BC finally announced that the NDP won by 47 ridings and the BC won 44. Greens 2. It's always 2 for the Greens. However, the Conservatives were to, if the Conservatives were to flip the ridings, giving the NDP 46 seats, they would no longer hold absolute control over British Columbia's government. True, because, like I said, the Conservatives could convince the 2 ridings from the Greens to vote with them, and that would actually defeat any bill that was coming forward from NDP. However, if the Conservatives... Oh, I already read that, okay. Yeah, see, in other words, the BC NDP would require votes from the Greens or Conservatives to pass this legislation. As per the Election Act, Elections BC has conducted a recount of 2 ridings that had extremely small margins, like 28 votes. That's extremely small. So they had to do a recount just to make sure everything's on the up and up. Kelowna Centre has narrowly won by the BC Conservatives candidate Christina Lowen, while Surrey Guildford was won by the NDP. So there's 2 that could possibly flip. Last month, Elections BC admitted that they allow election workers to take home unsealed ballots or uncounted ballots to their personal homes, sparking outrage from many social. Last month, yeah. So why wouldn't that alarm anybody? That's so alarming. How is this not a security risk? Says True North journalist. Yes, it's true. How is it not a massive security risk? I mean, that's it for me on this one. I mean, that's just a massive, massive risk. Like, why would you ever allow anybody to take unsealed ballots home? You don't know what they're doing with those. You don't know if they're tossing them into the fire. Well, they see, like, it could possibly be a Liberal or an NDP individual that's bringing those things home. They're like, you know what? I don't like this. I don't like them losing this seat is by such a small margin. So why don't we just go toss this in the garbage? We won't count these. There we go. My guy wins. Same thing for a Conservative. They could do the same thing. I mean, I don't like anybody taking unsealed ballots home. That is just a recipe for fraud, a recipe for an illegitimate election. But I mean, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And let's keep this conversation rolling. See you in the next one. Peace.
Cabinet ministers close behind while the master spins his lies. Welcome to the Canadian circus.